What's good, everybody? Welcome back once again to Snug Wrestling. And today is the final review for NXT of the year 2025. We did the final Raw last night, or a couple nights ago, sorry. And today we're going to bang this NXT review out of the way because it's New Year's Eve. So we got to get ready for New Year's Eve. Tommy's here with me tonight, my main guy, my right hand man when it comes to NXT, the NXT know it all himself. Tommy, welcome. How you doing?
Yo, what's up? I'm feeling good. Wanted to hang out with a couple of friends later tonight, which is why we're doing this so early compared to when we usually do it. But hey, it's New Year's Eve. Let's do this.
Yeah, that's what's up, dude. Yeah, I had some things to do New Year's Eve, but we decided we're not gonna do jack shit because that's when people get crazy on New Year's Eve, and I'm trying to stay home. We can watch the fireworks from our driveway, have an easy night. That's what we're gonna do here tonight at the Snug compound. So yeah, Tommy, I hope you have fun, but make sure you stay safe. Are you gonna be partying tonight? You gonna have a little sippy sippy?
I might have one thing because I've got something in the fridge just waiting for me for later tonight, but that's really probably about it. I'm not sure exactly what they have planned, but odds are it will not be a bunch of drinking.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. So correct me if I'm wrong, Tommy. This NXT episode this week was pre-recorded, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, because it flew by once again. I thought we were done with all the pre-recorded shows, but I guess not. I guess this is the final one. At least I hope for NXT because next week is New Year's Evil, right?
Yep, they usually do like the first Tuesday of January would be New Year's Evil, so we've got that going on as well.
Fair enough. The good thing about it, even though it was pre-recorded, I wasn't aware of the results. I didn't catch any of the spoilers when it comes to NXT. I guess maybe not that many people covered it because when it comes to Raw and SmackDown, the spoilers were flying all over the place. So that was nice because I didn't know what to expect from this episode of NXT, which was a great thing because we started off with a North American Championship title match. Ethan Page versus the challenger Moose from TNA, and it was a quick match. Maybe after all the edits and the cuts that they did, I want to say this was like a quick 5 minute match, but it was a freaking banger of a match. If I'm being honest, it was just like back and forth, back to back. Hard hitting, high intensity stuff here. Um, man, watching Ethan Page, he's had some fucking amazing matches. I want to say, I think Booker T said it best. Probably the best North American champion ever. And I don't think he wasn't just saying that because this match was a hell of a way to kick off NXT.
And considering what people have held that title, that's really saying a lot because you've got Trick Williams in there. You've got Wes Lee, who he himself has been on top of that before, where he has been considered one of the greatest North American champions of all time. So, with all of this, I was not expecting for Moose to leave with that title, and he didn't. So, there was that. It being as quick as it was kind of shocked me. Hell, I was shocked that this was even the opener because I thought they were going to hold this off until a little bit later on in the show. But no, they decided to open the show with Moose and Ethan Page. And as I've been saying time and time again, it is only a matter of time before this man finally drops that North American title and gets pulled up to the main roster. Just his heel work alone will tell you that.
Yeah, man. And I probably sound like a big Ethan Page fanboy, which I am. I've liked Ethan Page ever since he was in AEW, but just to give you guys a better idea of like how highly I think of Ethan Page's work. So when we're at the end of 2025, right? And people have been talking about, oh, who's had the best career of the year, the best faction, the best tag team, the best match of 2025. And there's been a lot of good matches on multiple companies this whole year. But literally, the first match that came to my mind, and Tommy, you might remember this one, was Ethan Page versus Mustafa Ali on NXT a few months ago. That was to me the first match that came to my mind when I thought of the best match of the entire year.
Oh yeah, that match was also one of the first ones that popped into my head, mainly because of how anticipated it was to begin with, because of the story involving Mustafa Ali specifically, with the fact that a few years ago he got released right after being promised a North American title shot. He never got it, and then now he's got it against Ethan Page. That entire story there, it just worked out perfectly. So that is also one of the first matches that comes to mind. But when it comes to people that have had one hell of a year when it comes to NXT, there are plenty up there. Joe Hendry is up there, in which we'll talk about him and that segment later. Good old Javon Evans is also up there, being one of the men that was in that final card for John Cena and him being on that. Ethan Page, absolutely up there. I mean, with this North American title, he has defended it against, as he says, a bunch of different people from a bunch of different companies. He's done main roster stuff. He's defended it against them. TNA, AAA, like it's all over the place for him, and he has had one hell of a 2025.
Yeah, Ethan Page has had one hell of a year. That's for damn sure. And yeah, he had another great match versus Moose, another TNA guy. Um, Ethan Page retained again. So the right guy won. There was it was an unexpected start because during the weigh-in, Ethan Page jump starts Moose, which is important to note, especially because going into the main event later on. And yeah, this match was all over the place. They fought in the ring, outside the ring. They had a barricade spot where Ethan Page throws Moose against the barricade, and there was a pretty scary moment in this match where they do a spot on the steel steps where Ethan Page backdrops Moose into the steel steps, but doesn't. I guess I don't know if it was Moose didn't jump far enough or Ethan Page didn't throw him far enough where Moose landed right on the edge of the steel steps on his lower back hard. And then that's what kind of was part of the finish of the match where Ethan Page rolled Moose in the ring, hits its big splash, false finish, Moose kicks out. Holy shit. I thought that was for sure going to be the end. But they go for about another minute after that, and Ethan Page gets the win. But man, another great fucking match by Ethan Page, I thought. And Moose, not just Ethan, both of these guys.
Yeah, there's definitely no doubt about it. As I've said, like Ethan Page and his heel work in ring with his promos, everything else is absolutely immaculate. It is absolute perfection. And when he's pulled up to the main roster, that's definitely going to be one of the big things that they're definitely going to push on is how good he is as a heel. Because it feels like he himself is a natural heel himself, just like when it comes to Roman Reigns and a few of other people, where they are just naturally one side or the other. But this match involving Moose, there was a couple times, especially with that steel chair spot, not steel chair, that steel step spot, where I'm like, oh, damn, that had to hurt. But then again, it feels like something was going on with Moose's arm as well. I'm not sure if it was his shoulder or further down, but at some point in this match, the majority of it, he was going along with that arm injury for quite some time. So I'm starting to wonder what in the world is up with that, or if he was just selling it.
Yeah, I think he was just selling it, hopefully. But yeah, great opening match for NXT. The story with your girl, Tatum Paxley, Tommy, continues with Izzy Dane. These two women have been feuding for a long time. And I was kind of with this. There's times where when they have the promo segments, I like Izzy Dame's promos. They're a little bit more, I guess, original to me. You know, I can kind of buy into what Izzy Dame is saying. The stuff that she says kind of makes sense if you've been following the story. But man, some of the stuff is just like, like most stuff on NXT, just overly scripted, overly dramatic. It just drags on and on and on and on. Tatum Paxley came out and, is just, it's like a soap opera. And I'm just like, bro, like, I'm not feeling like it's not genuine to me. It's just like, bro, hurry up, get to the point. What's the point of this? Is someone going to hit someone? Are they going to fight or what? And finally, when they finally got done reciting all their lines, they were like, next week, we're going to go one-on-one. And then they get into a little altercation, they got into a little fight. But oh my God, it just felt like this thing was dragging on and on and on. But I'm kind of looking forward to this one because I want to see Izzy Dame win for sure, for sure.
Well, apparently you were the only one that thought that when it comes to Tatum, because she also did win an award as well for Moment of the Year when it comes to her winning the NXT Women's title. So clearly the majority of people say Tatum's a girl, plain and simple. But when it comes to Tatum and this whole thing, there was one line that I absolutely loved, and it was just a few words when she said no chainsaws. Because her saying that, you may not know it, but earlier as well, right before I watched this week's NXT, I watched last week's NXT, and during Izzy's match, she came out with a damn chainsaw. Like, she came through the wall, cutting through the wall, and came out with a chainsaw and started chasing the two guys. I know it's Sean Spears and God, I cannot.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
What the hell the other one's name is.
So yeah, I'm supposed to believe that Tatum Paxley is crazy out of her mind. Okay.
Is and it's this promo in itself absolutely proved that. And when it comes to the match next week, I am super hyped just to see how, like, odds are Tatum Paxley is not winning that, unfortunately. But she is absolutely going to show that crazy side of her.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, so that's been made official. Yeah, they were giving away awards throughout this whole entire episode of NXT, right? Because this was the what was the theme of this episode? What was the name of it? It was like NXT
End of Year Awards.
The End of Year Awards. That's right. So yeah, I guess Tatum Paxley got an award for being crazy or something, right?
Yeah, she won, and this was quite a few really great matches and moments with this. But the award that she won was Moment of the Year, which was absolutely stacked, and she was in there as well. And her winning that NXT Women's title is the thing that won her that.
Got it. Okay. All right, then we had the women's match. Speaking of the NXT Championship, JC Jane is her name, right? The current women's NXT champion faced some girl that I couldn't even tell you her name because, like, I'm not familiar with her. I've seen her around. She's a girl that's been teaming up with the Evolve Women's Champion, who I also can't remember her name for the life of me because all these names are just not memorable.
Got Kendall Ray as the Evolve Women's Champion.
And who was the girl that
JC next week?
Right. And who was the girl that wrestled the NXT champion on this one? What was her name?
I cannot remember for the life of me.
Yeah, and yeah, we can't remember. And honestly, like, that's why I wasn't really into this match, not just because of the name, but because, like, I didn't really care for the girl, for the baby face that we're supposed to be cheering for. It's like, okay, I know who the champion is because she's the champion, and I've seen matches of her, but she's the heel.
Was it Ren Sinclair?
Yes, her. And I'm just like, I don't care for this match because I don't care who wins. And the match was whatever. And the whole point of this match was to build up New Year's Evil next week because Kendall Gray is her name. She got beat up backstage. And then after the match, she does the big save so she can get the big pop. And she's going to be facing, Kendall Gray is going to be facing the NXT Women's Champion next week, right?
Yep, because of the fact that she did win the Iron Survivor Challenge and shocked everybody. Like, neither of us were even expecting that either. But she will be facing JC Jane for the NXT title next week.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, this match, other than that, this match was whatever, except for the angle that they did at the end with the save and the run in. That was cool, but this whole match was just like, ugh. We had a concert by Joe Hendry, Tommy. The Joe Hendry concert, where he came out, he played a nice little song for the audience in the NXT, in the WWE Performance Center, kind of like, the way that The Rock used to do it back in the day, when he would sing the SmackDown Hotel and all those times. Didn't he do The Rock do a song for like Vicky Guerrero at one point?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I remember one that he did here in my hometown of Sacramento where he just talked shit about the Sacramento Kings, which I thought was lovely.
The
But yeah, man.
one that Rock did was right before WrestleMania 41, or right before WrestleMania 40 with the Bloodline Rules match. He did one on Cody.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I kind of remember that one. Yeah. So Joe Hendry basically did the same thing. And it was fun. Joe Hendry's really entertaining. The people love him. I I got a kick out of Booker T singing Joe Hendry's entrance song before the actual little segment began. Booker T sounds like fucking Macho Man Randy Savage when he tried to sing. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. And honestly, now that you say it, I can't unhear it.
But yeah, Joe Hendry's song was pretty funny. It was a theme song of 2025 on NXT where he talked about, he made fun of the heels like Ethan Page and Chelsea Green, how they had to eat some pie. And Ricky Saints was rich at first, but we found out he was a whiny bitch. And, Javon Evans had a hell of a year. And, follow us at the CW in the year 2026 if you think 2025 was good, So that was a fun time. That was a fun moment with Joe Hendry. But the party got ruined by the Dark State, which some people call the modern day Shield. Am I right?
Yeah, and honestly, I'm looking at that and I see it, but at the same time, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, but this was this was a good spot. The Dark State got a lot of heat because everyone likes Joe Hendry. They like the show. They were enjoying the song and the concert, and everyone was laughing and having a good time. Even Booker T was dancing, and then out of nowhere the lights turn off, kind of like what Tommy just did. And these four guys show up and they just start beating up on Joe Hendry. And no one came out to save Joe Hendry. They just beat the crap out of Joe Hendry, and then that was it. Where was Javon Evans? Where was, all these people that have Joe Hendry's back that were nowhere to be found? But I thought this was a great segment. Yeah, good to see these guys, Dark State, getting featured on NXT like this. What did you think of the segment, Tommy?
Dark State getting featured in itself is absolutely amazing. I love the fact that these young guys are, in fact, getting featured as much as they are. And with them being as big as they are as well, because three of them were just backstage people at first. Like they
Hmm.
were like security guards, which continues the whole thing of, hey, security guards are now becoming wrestlers,
Yeah.
which has been a really, really big thing. Joe Hendry with his little concert, that makes total sense and all of that. It's literally Joe Hendry's thing. He has made up songs for a ton of different people on parodies of people and all of that. He did one on Ethan Page a while back when Ethan, I believe, was NXT champion, and he was going after that. So this isn't something new for Joe Hendry. And like I said earlier, there are like three people that you can name that had a absolutely amazing year. Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and Joe Hendry. And right before this song started, he flat out named why that is so true with him. One on one against Randy Orton at WrestleMania, being in the Rumble as TNA champion at the time as well, and being in the Iron Survivor match, being chosen by John Cena himself. Had a absolutely phenomenal 2025, and there is no doubt about that. But this segment was extremely fun. Hell, I even started singing it all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah. It was catchy, dude. Oh, fucking Joe Hendry's got some catchy tunes in him, man. But yeah, dude, let's go on to the next match was believe it was like a final or semifinal for the men's speed championship.
It was a final.
Okay, so the winner out of this one faces the speed champion, right?
Yes.
So it was Lexus King versus Tavion Heights. Tavion Heights is amazing. I love Tavion Heights, but I also like Lexus King. I was really excited when I found out that he was hired and he was going to be on NXT from AEW. And I was like, man, finally, Lexus King is going to get a real shot because he wasn't really being used in AEW a whole lot. And I'm like, yeah, now they're going to watch. He's going to prove the potential that he has. Obviously, this is Brian Pillman's son. You know, he was Brian Pillman Jr. in AEW. So he has the lineage, he has the family name, but he comes over to NXT as Lexus King. He's been on NXT for I want to say over a year now, and there's been a couple guys that have came over from AEW that have been on NXT a lot shorter than Lexus King that have pretty much surpassed him. They've surpassed Lexus King, unfortunately. Now he's barely being used. And when he is being used, he's kind of a comedy gimmick. He's kind of I hate to say it, but he's kind of a joke.
When he is being used, he's being beaten in 8 seconds.
Yes. So here he has this match versus Tavion Heights, which I know, they've been putting a lot of spotlight on Tavion Heights, getting him over because he's a great athlete. But Lexus King shows up. They do the little introduction. They do their entrances. The bell rings. Lexus King has his back turned to Tavion Heights. Tavion Heights hits his finisher on Lexus King. 1, 2, 3. Lexus King gets beat in 8 seconds. This is a 3-minute match, and he gets beat in 8 seconds.
You want to talk about it being for a speed title? Now that was fucking speed right there. I mean, there was one thing the commentary said right after it, which is literally just in that recap alone, which they usually do for like short little moves and all of that, that he could show the entire damn match in that one little replay.
Yeah.
Like that is how fast this match was. And this was the final for the speed title. So good luck, because this man is clearly quick and he really, really wants that fucking speed title.
Yeah, Tavion Heights is really good. I take no credit away from him. You know, we've reviewed his matches in the past. He looks great. He moves great. His ability's great. His matches are great. But god damn it, who did Lexus King piss off? You know, this is what I'm feeling like. Did you see the post that Lexus King did after the match?
Who in the world has his first move being his finisher?
Yeah. And I quote, "This is ridiculous. Who uses their finishing move in the first 10 seconds of the match? That's a rookie move. This is a sport of kings, of gentlemen. Everybody knows you're supposed to lock up and wrestle to start the match. This is reckless. Not to mention it's dangerous and it's a disgrace to the great sport that my lineage built." Oh my god, I love Lexus King, man, but damn, if you're not even being taken serious on NXT, how the hell do you expect to be called up to the main roster? Like that is this, can you save this? Like it can he be saved? Someone please save Lexus King.
I feel like he can be saved. It's just going to take a hot minute before he's fully saved out of this.
Yeah, man, cuz Jesus Christ. But yeah, that was, I mean, at least I got to see we got to see Lexus King on TV, even though he got beat this way. But goddamn, overall, like it was kind of unfortunate, but it was unexpected. It was fun to see, and I popped for it. So I guess that's the positive about all this, right? Good lord. Okay, we had a tag team match. Out the Mud, who recently came back, I want to say about a month ago. They've been whooping ass left and right, except for I believe a couple weeks ago they lost versus Hanky Tank, if I'm correct or not. But they wrestled the guys from Evolve, which I just learned their tag team name is Swipe Right. The fuck kind of tag team name is that, Tommy?
There's supposed to be this weird, like, popular college kid group and all of that. So my guess is they looked at fucking phrases referring to Tinder and saw Swipe Right and was like, well, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are really young. They look like fucking college kids. Really young and, you know, a lot smaller guys compared to Out the Mud, who look like absolute monsters compared to them. But this was basically a 3-on-2. The Evolve champion was out there, who also, I mean, all three of these guys from Swipe Right got to be like 18 or 19 years old. Like, I don't think they're over the age of 20, and at least they don't look like it. But they still had a competitive match. I thought this was going to be a squash match, but it wasn't. The heels in this case, Swipe Right, got some heat, a little bit of heat on Out the Mud, but overall, Out the Mud looked like the convincing, more serious threat. They were getting the pops. They were the baby face in this situation. Um, but yeah, they looked really good. Out the Mud did, which was the point of all this.
They really did, and I am not surprised that they did win as they did, because holy crap, this in itself was like a pretty quick match here and there. But there's one move where I'm like, oh shit, is he good? I can't remember which member of Out the Mud it was, but there was one point where he tried to throw one of the guys from Swipe Right over the top rope. It looked like he got tangled with it between like the top and middle. So he ended up in this like really weird position, just hanging there for a sec. I'm like, oh, what in the world? How did that happen? But this match in itself, I absolutely loved it, mainly because Out the Mud is just that damn good.
Yeah, I know which spot you're talking about. It was like right at the beginning of the match. Even Booker T was like, "Oh, careful," because I don't know if he was the guy from Out the Mud. I can't remember his name. They have weird names too. One of them is like Bronco, and the other one is like, fuck, I can't remember their names individually, but I want to say he tried to throw him in the corner, and the guy from Swipe Right,
He went
the
like
younger,
over the corner and got tangled in the ropes.
I think he got confused. I thought he was like, "Oh, am I supposed to go over the top rope or am I supposed to go in the corner?" So I think he just like overshot himself over the top rope and realized like, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to do it." It just goes to show like how young and these guys are. They're in developmental for a reason. These guys from Evolve, but yeah, man,
My
out the
guess
mud beat.
is what he was trying to do was get them both in the corner and then kind of like plop on top of them, like you've seen on the main roster quite a few times by the heavy hitters. So that's my guess on what he was trying to do, but it didn't end up going that way.
Yeah, he even knocked down the cameraman too because the cameraman was standing right in the corner, outside of the ring because I think even the cameraman knew, okay, this guy's supposed to go in the corner. He's not gonna fucking land on top of me, so I'm just gonna
Totally
stand
not going
here.
to fly over the corner.
Yeah, because no one does that. If you get thrown over the top rope, you get thrown in the middle of the ropes, not over the turnbuckle. So it's like, yeah, the guy from Swipe Right, I think he just got confused or whatever, but he's okay, thankfully. And they were able to finish this tag team match. And then we have the main event, Tommy. And this one I was really looking forward to. Ricky Saints versus Javon Evans. This is a grudge match because they've been at each other's necks the past couple of weeks. They've been really heating this thing up. They've been attacking each other. Ricky Saints showed up with security guards a couple of weeks ago, but Javon Evans still got his hands on Ricky Saints. And it's two top guys from NXT, two exciting guys, especially Javon Evans, who's been, like we mentioned before, had a hell of a year 2025. Ricky Saints has been with the company for half a year, about 6 months, but 6 or 8 months, something like that. But already has won gold in NXT. Got a lot of heat with the fans. This guy's one of the already top guys on NXT. And you have both of these guys in the main event. So it could only mean like, these guys are going to have a banger of a match, right? However, this match felt a lot like the same match that we saw at the opening match because we saw a jump start where the heel attacks the babyface either before or after the bell like rings right off the bat. I think it was before the bell rings. So we have the same way the match started in the opening match. It felt like the main event started. They also did the same barricade spot that they did in the opening match that like they did in this main event. In the same barricade, the same exact one. It's like NXT. You know how the main roster, the barricade spot that always gets broken, it's like by the announce table. The one on NXT is like on the opposite side, but it's always that one in every single match. But besides that, I thought this match was really good, man. Both of these guys are really fucking good. And it was a personal feud. It wasn't for a title or nothing like that. It was just, hey, we don't like each other and we're just going to duke it out. And it was a great match.
And boy, did they, because there was a couple of spots on top of that announcer table where I'm like, okay, this is getting good. They really, really want to take the damn heads off of each other. So that in itself was absolutely great. I love this match personally. It was quite fun, especially with it being involving Javon Evans and everything else. Of course, Ricky Saints just has to go, hey, you put me right in the right position. You cuttered that ref now there's no ref to stop me. I'm kicking you right in the balls.
Mm-hmm.
So with him doing that, I'm like, oh God, this is how this is going to end? Of course it is. So overall, I had quite a bit of fun just watching this match alone.
It was a great match, dude. And the finish was even better, dude. The finish was Javon Evans pretty much had Ricky Saints beat. He was about to hit his finisher on Ricky Saints, but the referee was like in a very awkward position where Ricky Saints was able to shove the referee into Javon Evans. So instead of Ricky Saints taking the finisher, the referee takes it. And it's like, oh, fuck, that was supposed to happen. The referee gets knocked out. The referee took a great bump, by the way. Props to the referee for that one. So yeah, the referee's down. Ricky Saints takes advantage. And then, boom, low blow to Javon Evans. Ricky Saints hits his finisher. And the odd thing about that is something that we hardly ever see. Another referee runs out just in time for the count. When do you like? I can't remember the last time I've seen that happen. Usually, everyone's like stand still, and it's like, "Where's the ref?"
Yeah, usually the crowd counts to at least 10 before we even see a glimpse of a ref.
Right. And this time it was just like no time wasted. Another referee runs out. 1, 2, 3, and I'm just like, wait a minute, what? So if they is Ricky Saints in cahoots with this referee or something? Like this hardly ever happens nowadays. Before it was more common, because it just makes sense. Get another referee out there. If one referee's out, get another one. But that hasn't happened in a long time, it feels like. But all of a sudden tonight, the referee was ready to go out there to take over. 1, 2, 3, Ricky Saints defeat Javon Evans in a very, very dirty way.
And it's not surprising because it's Ricky. He is also another one where he is a great babyface when he gets that spot, but he's also such a good heel. I have watched back some of his heel work from AEW. He is such a good heel. So he's one of those people that he's great on both sides.
What, Tommy? You were watching AEW?
I watch clips here and there.
Well, cool. Yeah, that was NXT before New Year's Evil to hype up New Year's Evil, the final NXT of the year. But before we get out of here, Tommy, let's do some quick predictions for next week, shall we?
Okay, let's do it.
So far, it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 matches. Maybe they'll add one more, maybe not. We shall see. Obafemi versus TNA X Division champion Leon Slater for the NXT Championship.
As much as I would love to say Leon Slater, mainly because of the year that he's had as well, it's too early. It is way too early to take the NXT title off of Obafemi. So it has to be Oba.
Dude, I'm going to go with Leon Slater, dog. Let me tell you why. I've seen Leon Slater defeat much bigger guys on TNA. The guy that Leon Slater defeated for that X Division champion was Moose, actually. And it was a hell of a match. The other reason why I believe in Leon Slater is because there's been rumors that Obafemi is supposed to be getting called up to the main roster sooner than later. And it would be a hell of a way to put Leon Slater over in a major way.
Yeah,
Think about it.
you are right on that. But there is something that I said before when it comes to the whole thing with him and Cody as well, with Oba, where when we reviewed Saturday night's main event for that, I said it was only a matter of time before Obafemi is called up. And yes, there are rumors, but it would not be the first time that they called up a guy while he was NXT champion. Back during the black and gold days, back when it was just a massive X for the title,
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, he was NXT champion when he was called up to the main roster.
Yeah, but he was called up as the NXT champion, still part of NXT. He wasn't called up as like an official like main roster talent, was he?
I think he was because he had a face to face with the world champ at that point.
Yeah, but it was like during Survivor Series, like wasn't it like Survivor Series where there were a lot of like NXT guys were showing up?
Yeah, that's right.
I want to say so, but the other thing too is like, okay, if this is when they put the belt, the way that they take the belt off Obafemi, when is that 3 stages of hell match supposed to take place between Cody and Drew?
Whenever they go overseas again.
Is it? It's not at the Rumble, is it?
No.
Or is it Saturday Night Smack? I don't know, but
I
I
don't
want to.
Saturday night main event, but he says whenever the hell they go over to Germany.
Okay.
Match is going to happen.
Because if they take the belt off Obafemi, that'll open him up to potentially interfering in that match to kind of give the payback to Drew McIntyre for costing him his match versus Cody Rhodes.
Depending on what those 3 stipulations are, yes.
Yeah, that's true. But overall, man, a lot to look forward to when it comes to the NXT Championship match for sure. All right, Tommy. JC Jane versus the Evolve Women's Champion Kendall Gray for the NXT Women's Championship.
JC. I'm going JC right off the bat. Mainly because of the fact that Kendall Gray, yes, she has been showing up on NXT a lot, but she is still Evolve Women's Champion. And honestly, I do not think that she needs that NXT title right now.
I disagree. I think Kendall Gray needs it more than JC Jane. JC Jane is already 2-time or 3-time NXT Women's Champion. Her title runs are not anything to go riding home for. I think the people are getting behind Kendall Gray more and more, man. She's getting over with the fans a whole lot. I think it would be smart to put it on Kendall Gray. I mean, it was smart for her to win the Survivor or Iron Challenger thing or whatever. And, you know, she was the big underdog because she's from Evolve. Kendall Gray could potentially become the first ever Evolve and NXT Women's Champion. I can see it, dude. I can see the people getting behind that.
The problem is we both know that the rest of Fatal Influence is going to get involved somehow.
Yeah. That's a good point, too. But, I mean, so far, both of these matches, man, I can't really say that they're predictable. As much as, you know, some people might think. Oh, this is another good one. This one I'm looking forward to. Thea Hale versus Blake Monroe for the NXT Women's North American Championship.
They either run with who's champion now and give her a quite long reign, or they do what I predicted they did back when they had that title turnover in the first place as a mistake and give it back to Blake Monroe. So here's the thing. She's going to have somebody on her side, not Blake, but Thea Hill. That it seems that little thing might come up a little bit more.
Yeah. Jordan Grace, right?
Yeah. Thea Hill's going to have Jordan Grace on her side, but I'm going with Blake. As much as I hate to say it, I have to go Blake Monroe here, mainly because of the fact that even Ava gave her some advice during NXT as well. When she said, hey, if you want that title back, the glamour needs to come out. So I'm going Blake.
I'm interested in this, especially because the way that Thea Hell won the damn title out of nowhere a couple weeks ago, in a very unexpected and botched way, I think it's safe to say. That we saw Blake Monroe kind of do the Baron Corbin, the sad Corbin gimmick a little bit, where the glamour Blake Monroe, who's always done up, and she's always has her makeup and her hair ready, and she's glamorous. Last night she was a complete opposite. She was wearing a bathrobe, her hair was all fucked up. She just looked like shit, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that's pretty funny. But if you take the title off Thea Hale, I think that is basically telling us, like, Thea Hale was never supposed to be champion. She's not really championship material. We're just going to put it back on the person that should have it, Blake Monroe, and correct our wrongs and correct the mistake that they made during their match last week, as opposed to what I want to see. Keep the title on Thea Hale, have her go over, show that Thea Hale is championship material, which would cause Blake Monroe to hit rock bottom like never before. And then they can make a great storyline with Blake Monroe, kind of like her own version of like the sad Corbin. I think the people will actually really empathize with Blake Monroe a lot. And it's an opportunity to get her over even more, I think. So I'm going with Thea Hale.
Yeah, after hearing that, I will rescind my prediction and go with Thea as well.
Dope. And finally, so far for the fourth match, Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame.
As much as I love Tatum, I really do. Especially after how this ended, and that was basically a hint of, hey, I can take her out. Unfortunately, I think I'm with you on this one, and I know exactly who you're going to say as well. It's got to be Izzy. The only reason why I could think that they would go Tatum here is to tie it up and have them go for a third match and end it off there. But this feud already is going a little bit downhill, at least for me. So I'm going Izzy.
Yeah, I don't love Tatum Paxley like most people do. So I'm definitely going Izzy Dame. But honestly, I'm going with whoever wins for the last time, just so this fucking feud can be over. That's what I want to see. To be honest, because goddamn. But no, Izzy Dame is really good, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna just say Izzy Dame. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to look forward to next week, Tommy. I'm actually excited for New Year's Evil, if I'm being honest. But yeah, other than that, that was what's been going on in the world of NXT. That was the NXT review with the Snug Wrestling crew, with myself, Edgar, the host of Snug Wrestling, and Tommy. Get us out of here, brother.
All right, stay safe, stay savage, stay snug. Happy New Year. We will see you in 2026. That was 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.